Hey guys, we're back. And today we're going to just have some fun. So earlier this morning I was mucking around and we decided that we'd make like an iris opening door thing. Okay, so what I've done here is I've created a blueprint and it's going to open and close and it's going to be part of another blueprint which is going to be for a weapon to come out, right? So let's have a look at this. We've got this leaf thing and we want our event graph, and we actually want to put in our event begin play. Okay, and we're going to set up a custom event. And it's going to be called Flippy, because basically we're going to do a flip-flop just to test this is. Right, so we're going to do a flip-flop and then we're going to create two more custom events. One's going to be open iris, and we're going to have one called close iris. Okay. And this is going to do a set timer by function name. Then it's going to call Flippy. It's going to be looping, and let's say every 5 seconds, not 50. Right? And then on A, we're going to open iris. And on B, we're going to close iris. I'm going to drag these down a bit. Then we're going to create a timeline. Okay. And it's going to be TL iris. If we open this, we're going to have a float track, and it's going to be angle. Save that, and we'll say it's going to take 2 seconds. So we're going to add a curve, add a key. This key is going to be 0. This key is going to be, let's say, 80. Oops. This float is going to be at 2. And it's going to be 80. Okay. So now that that's saved, what we're going to do is this is going to play, and this is going to reverse from end. Okay. And then we're going to drag these in. Rotation. I think that'll do it. Right, we've got a little bit of a thing here. So what we're going to have to actually do here is we're going to have to check our rotation is going to happen on the Y, okay? So we're going to do get leaf 1, leaf 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? And we're going to do a sequence. Okay. And we are basically going to do 6 of these. One for each leaf, basically. So, that, and that one. Okay, so that's going to go into there. That's going to go into here. And to here. And we just basically follow this all the way through here. That goes to there. That goes to there. And this, damn it. This one is going to here. Okay, so now that we've got that, we basically get location. No, we don't. We get the rotation. Rotation. Okay. And we split this pin. Then we make a rotator. And we do that, we do that. Then we get this. And we add it to that. And we plug that into there. And that should be that. Okay. And basically, I'm going to do a function. I'm just going to do a function to return the rotator. Okay, and it's basically going to return a rot, so that's going to be a rotator, and the inputs are going to be the mesh, right, which is going to be static mesh plus angle it's actually degrees to add, right, and this is going to be a float. Unity is better. Well, it's all a matter of opinion, really. Not going to argue with you. No, it's an absolutely perfectly logical statement to make, to be honest. Some people like Unity, some people like Unreal Engine. Both got their pros and cons. Okay. Right, let's do something here, right? If I do that and I join these back together, yeah, it's a rotation, right? So we'll change this. What we'll do is we'll change this to a rotator. Right? Rotator. Delete that. And what we'll do is break it. And we shall do that. We shall do that. We shall do that. And we shall do that. And our rotator is going to get returned. Okay, I know. We'll sort that out in a minute, thank you very much. Yeah, that's not really going to save a lot of time, is it? This function at the end of it. Well, we can recombine these. Right, and that can just go in there. We return, put that there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this angle down to here, and then we're going to do a reroute node because we're going to need it a few times. Okay, so that's going to go in there. And that is going to go in there. And that is going to go in there. Then this rotation is going to go in there. Okay. So we can, or possibly we can't, do is we'll delete that, delete that, delete that, and that, and that. Could do this as a temp and just do it all in a one, but hey ho, we're just having fun today. Nothing serious, even though this is still going to actually do something in the end, right? So that goes in there, and number 2 goes in there. Okay. We'll duplicate that. And we'll duplicate it again. And again. And once more, I believe. Right. Doesn't really matter about the order of these, to be honest. I can go in there. I can go there. Drag these down a bit. That can go there. And this can go here. Okay. And now this can go in here and then here. And in here, and into there. Okay, so we need a target for this, and that's going to be there, there, and hi there, Daniel. The best tip I can give, well, okay. Do you have any programming experience? Is the first question. Now, so if you answer that question, then we'll talk. Otherwise, it depends on that, really. If you have no programming experience, then I would say go and check out some beginners programming stuff, because you do still need basic programming skills no matter whether you use Unity or Unreal Engine. I mean, you can use this, you can use the blueprints, but you still, in the end, you're going to need to program. or at least understand the concept. So now that I've done that, we've got our viewport and we can simulate, I believe. Let's have a check. It's going to do Flippy every 5 seconds. Flippy's open and closing. Right, and then we open and close from there. Hi Kofi, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you again. How are you today? I'm good. I'm good. We're working on a concept here. Right, I'm going to show you. Right, so we've got this turret, right? But what it does is actually, it should start at 180. Right, we're not doing that. Our base should start at 180. Okay, not the location, the rotation. Okay, so what I want to happen is you didn't really answer the question, Daniel. Have you got any programming experience, yes or no? So basically what we're doing with this, oh, we didn't want to do that. We want to do simulation, right? So what I wanted to do is basically for the turret to pop out the ground, which it'll do in a second, right? So it'll go like that, okay? But what I want to happen first is for it, like, to have something on the floor, like, you know how you get the iris door? Right? So this is our iris. Okay? Oh, that's not very good. Well, that's a bit weird. Okay. That is indeed a bit weird. So what I want to do is check. Yeah. Okay. So it's minus 72. So that should be 348. Right, hang on a second here in case I changed the wrong thing. Hi, Blue Force Studio. How are you today? Right, so that's correct. Minus 72. Right? And we are definitely adding right, so that's minus 72. What was the other one? That's minus 50. That's 11. 73. 46. 12. Okay, let's do something with this one, right? This is leaf 5. Okay? So, if we go to the event graph, we are making a rotation, we're doing that, that's all good. The star skin material, it's from a I don't know what you're talking about, Blue Force. I don't know where you've seen that. Right, Daniel. And the first thing I would do is learn about enums, learn about structures, and learn about data tables. Right, because those end up being the most used thing, the thing that you'll use the most in everything. Right, let's get a low numbered leaf with a positive. Right, so it's on minus 72. I'm wondering, minus 49, right? So if that's minus 49, I should be able to add 360 to this, right? So that'll basically give us 310. Yep, it didn't move, right? So if we save that, and so that's 11, so that's fine. And that's positive. And that's positive. That's minus 12, right? So that should be 348. It's minus 72. So that should be 288, I believe. And my arithmetic didn't let me down, thank God. Or that'd have been really foolish. Right, so anyway, if we just do the first leaf, right, I want to see how this actually does. So what we'll do is, in the update, we shall go straight, oh God damn it. We'll do a reroute node to make this easier. Right. So this, don't know why it's plugged into something else. Right. So there we go. So we're going to bypass this sequence and just do the first one. And that should be us, right? So what we'll do is we'll simulate. What's with this wacky shit? I haven't done a second key. What an idiot. I must have missed that or something. Oh, apparently there is a key there. Right, delete that. Yeah, so that seems okay. Save that. Right, go back to here, simulate. Okay. Oh God, what an idiot. No, that's actually correct. Right, wait a minute. I'm losing my sanity. Right, I don't want this to do anything, right? So we get the degrees, we pass it into return rotator, and then we pass in the current rotation. We do this, we do that. Right? So let's simulate again. It's throwing this wobbly at the end. I don't know why. Now I have seen this before, but it was in somebody else's project. So we're looking at leaf and it's starting at 288. Now it's not going over 360, right? So there's no reason why it should throw a wobbly, basically. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is on this, get relative rotation. Right? And instead of this, we're going to set relative location. Set relative rotation. So that can go in there. Then this can go in here. And let's have a look to see if that makes any difference. It doesn't. It does that weird... Ah, I think I know what it is. I think it's because collision's on. And it's block all dynamic. No collision, thank you very much. Can we switch all the collisions off at once? Yes, we can. No collision. Save. And now simulate. It's still doing that weird shit. So that is still absolutely bizarre. So we'll put this back, we'll delete this out, we'll delete these out, alright, let's have a look here. Take that off. Nope. No collision. Doesn't affect navigation. Okay. Now there is another way we can do this without the timeline. That's bizarre. Okay. Let's try another little test. Okay. We'll test this before we investigate this issue, because I don't understand this problem, why it's doing this crap. Okay. So we could also do a lerp. Or is this? We're getting an alpha. In theory, yes, we can do this, right? Because what we could do is we could get the world rotation, right? We could get the world rotation, then we can also drag off this, right? And then split it. And then split this. Then we could do that and that, and then this plus 60, right? Because we're spinning at 60 degrees. Okay, that can go to there. That's not going to be the alpha, of course. That goes in there. This goes in here into the alpha. And our rotator, well, basically we'll do this the easy way. We'll just duplicate that. We'll bring this over. Right, if we bring this over, then we can plug in our rotator, this one, then we can plug this in to there, and then we can test it by plugging this in to here. Okay. And we can go to the viewport and simulate. Wow. That's pretty cool, don't you think? Well, that didn't exactly work as expected. Ah, of course. Because we've got to save the default value. Right? Its initial position, basically. So let's just do that for a laugh, shall we? Promote that to a variable. So we don't do this on the update, we just do it straight from here. And this is still doing the lerp. That was still doing the timeline thing. That should have went straight into there. Maybe it was right. Right, let's have a look. Okay, now it's not going to do anything. No, that was right. You still wanted the timeline to do the alpha. Except in this case the alpha should actually be 0 to 1. Right, so what we'd have to actually do is change this. And we'll have it in 2 seconds, right? But this would actually be after 2 seconds, it would be 1. Right? And that is actually the right way to do it, in theory. But I think we still need this. Let's simulate and see what happens for a laugh. It's always nice to see meshes bouncing about the screen uncontrollably. Yeah, I mean, weirdly it's still doing that jumping around. They're all doing that weird jumping around thing. Which is all a bit bizarre, to be honest. Right, stop that for now. Yeah, this is wrong. it should move from 0 from this position here to, right, let's just do something here, right, just for a laugh. I don't know why it's doing all this weird shit at the start, right? But let's just try this. Right, we're going to delete that. And we're actually going to pull this in and put that in there. Right, so go to viewport, simulate. We'll check this out. And it's still this weird jumping around crap. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Right. This leaf thing, has it got collision on it? Because if it has, we're removing it. Right. Collision presets. No collision. Save. Right, that was bollocks. We didn't want to do that. Right. So our collision is totally off. And that's just doing weird, wacky stuff. Right, hang on a minute. Constraints. X, Z, X, Z. If I lock that one as well. Right, doesn't really matter about that. So, let's try simulating that. Well, it just shows you that the constraints don't bloody work. Well, don't know about this. Right, but I'm going to go and grab a cigarette and have a think about this. And I shall be back shortly. 2.5 minutes. 2.5, guys. Okay guys, we're back and let's have a look at this. Now, I wonder if every single one of them is doing the same thing, which I believe they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all these, right? Then we're going to go back to where we were. I'm going to go to there, or more, we'll go up to here and we'll check them out one by one. So we know that the first leave's kind of screwed, right? And so that we don't completely muck this up, we'll put a reroute node in here on each one, so it's easier to just join them back up again. I'm just wondering if every single one of these is doing the same thing, or if it's a certain one that goes like over 360 or to a minus or something. I'm just wondering if it's something to do with that. Yeah, Howland Bird, you're right. That's what I was trying to explain. You need to know at least something about programming. You need to know the basics, loops, variables, all that stuff, even to do any blueprints. Right, so if we try this, now that's bizarre. I wouldn't recommend Python, I would recommend anything, because the fundamentals are all the same. Right, so that appeared to me, let's do that again, right? That appeared to me like it was getting stuck on another leaf, which it shouldn't have done. Right, so that's given us a completely different issue, which is obviously great. Let's try this one. This is bizarre. And that's going the wrong way. Hey, passer. Right, so some of them are going to have to minus and some of them are going to have to plus, which is good to know, I suppose. Right, so we know that this one right, why have you went to sleep? Right, so let's plug this into, no, we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're plugging this one into here to to see the effect on this one. Simulate. And that one's getting stuck as well, apparently. Even though there's no collision, absolutely zero collision, right? These are still getting stuck. It's a mixture between Factorio, Satisfactory, Surviving Mars, and a sprinkling of RimWorld, possibly. Right, so this is bizarre that this is getting stuck. Although that one's going the right way, so we're cool with that. Right? So if we go back to our event graph, that one can stay. So this one is actually going to go in here, and this is leaf number 4. And simulate. That's going the wrong way. See how it's... I don't get it. I don't get why these are actually colliding at all. No, it can't be damaged. Let's see if there's any other weird stuff going on. Right, let's see if there's any weird stuff in here. Nope. 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 Right, so basically, if enough of you say in the chat, I'll show you where we are. We're just having a bit of fun today. We fixed a lot of stuff last night. We're saving the game and saving stuff on conveyor belts and stuff, which took a little while, but we got it working in the end. So that can get whooshed. If I get enough people typing, yeah, show me the game, in the chat, I'll show you the game. We'll go here. And that's going the wrong way as well. Okay. So we've got 3 going the right way, 3 going the wrong way. Which kind of sounds about right, to be fair. So basically that can go, and then what we'll do is we shall move these, right, and we shall move that down, so our 3 minus ones are together. So if we delete that, I mean, we've still got our bouncing about issue, but at least we can fix these. So what we'll do is we shall duplicate return, and we'll call it neg for negative. Right, and this we shall multiply it. In fact, we don't even need to do that, to be honest. What we can do is we can delete this, right? And back in our event graph, we can just, the ones that are coming in here, what we do is this number here, we just multiply it by -1, right? So if we drag off here, multiply by -1, and then all of these can go in here, which, as I said before, yeah, that kind of describes my game a bit. A mix between an RTS and a city builder. Except you don't really build a city, you build production. Right, so let's get rid of that and plug this back in here. Now it's not going to work, but at least if we fix the problem, it's going to fix the problem and everything's going to work. At the moment, even running them individually just basically screws up everything anyway, so it's hardly anything to get worried about. So if we save that, right, if we simulate, what? Are you joking me? Did that just work? Kinda. That's going to 2. That's not right. Right, we're not going to argue with it, right? What we're going to say is that's 2. Right, and let's see what that actually does to our simulation. That kind of works. I don't understand why this is working, by the way. I'll show you why. Right, our timeline gives us the angle, right? And the angle is only between 1 and 2. Right? So we're getting the world rotation, and then we're basically adding the angle, which is 1 or 2, to the pitch. Right? And that's it. So in theory, this timeline is only given a value of 2. In fact, right, what we'll do is we'll give it 1.5, right? And we'll save it. And this does not make any sense. right? This makes zero sense. Okay. So, if we go to the event graph, right, and then we plug this back in, and we simulate again, yeah, that's going to shit. You see, these seem to get stuck on each other, right? Which, I don't get it, because there's no collision on at all. Zero. Right? What I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to actually, because it's doing stupid things with that, but what we'll do is we'll drag it into the world, right? And we'll see how it actually looks. Right, so we're going for 90 and 2, 2, 2. Okay, let's make it 3. So let's do the little button thing, and okay, we'll go for 4. Okay, 5 it is. Right. So if we press play, well, that's weird. Okay, stop that just now. So were we looking at this in the complete wrong? Right, okay. So if we're looking at it, right, so we must have to do it on the Z, the X, sorry. Still doesn't explain the weird stuff going on, right? Well, it's not that. Alright, so if it's not that, the only one it can be is the Y, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. The Z, sorry. It is the Z. Look at it, it's the Z. Or is it? No, because we rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. Well, you can't say that, it's not doing weird things. Right. I'm not taking it too seriously today, so if funny things happen, I'm not really bothered. I'm just having fun. I just wanted to play around with a couple of things today. Now, what I think now is that this -1 is wrong. So if we basically multiply it by 1. Right, if we press play. Now this isn't going to look right when it finishes, right? Oh, that was kind of cool. That was actually kind of cool, wasn't it? Kind of like that. Alright, input disabled, that's okay, that's all okay. Right, I've got kind of, so it should be rotating on the Z, right? Nope, it should be rotating on the Y. So I was right all along. And it should be minus. Right? So if we look at it on this one, we can see that it's on the Y. And it should be negative. Okay. So in actual fact, all of them should be -1. Right? All of them should be -1, and all of them I think I know what the issue here is. Yep, I know what the issue is here. It was related to this new variable thing. Right? It's related to that. You see how that works really nice? Yeah, it's not going to do it a second time. Right, but I don't know if this is going to work or not. Yeah, but it's not actually doing what you think it's doing, right? That's the problem. Okay? That's the weird thing about it. You'll notice it is doing cool things, but it's just pure chance that it's doing that, right? It is pretty cool though, right? But it's kind of fucked, to be honest. What it's doing is, in actual reality, we need to, it's basically doing 60 times, adding 1.5 to the current thing, right? What we actually need to do here, right, is basically store the variables for the starting position of each leaf, right? And then we can get it to work properly. Okay? So what we'd actually have to do is duplicate that, right? Duplicate. I'll show you it working the correct way, right? Duplicate. And duplicate. And one more time. So basically we'll have to set all these to their three, 4, and 5. Right. And we basically join these together. If we can join them together, that is, join them together, join them together, join those together, and join those together, and put them up here. And them up there. And then we need to get, no, we don't set it. Hit the wrong button. A couple of months. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of systems that work even though they're not completely completed. There's a lot of, I've broken the back of a lot of the systems, like the research tree and actual doing research. I broke the back of that. The conveyor belts being done in splines and adjusting themselves to be in the right place, done all that. Supply ship, that's all done. Doing the different types of buildings and recipes and stuff, that's all done. So this is going to be get world rotation, right? And then we're going to paste that. Then we're going to paste those two. I'm going to paste those again, put them over here. So I'll show you in a second, right? Once I plug these in, I'll let you see the sort of so far. If you just give me a little minute, I'll let you see it. That goes in there, that can go up there, this can go here, drag this across. As I said, today I decided just to have a little play, and if we don't get much done, we don't really care, and if we do, then all the better. Drag that down to there, drag that across, that across. Right, so that should go from there to there. And we're probably better now doing the lerp. Rather than, we can use the timeline for the alpha, but we'd probably be better just using a lerp on this. Right, so fundamentally, let's set this one up with a lerp, right? So we're going to lerp rotator, right? And the timeline is going to be the alpha, right? But this is going to be new var 0 is going to be our A, and this and if we change our timeline now, actually, right, and we actually make it the 60 degrees, alright, why is that doing that? I'm guessing it's because we're not using it or something. What do you mean you can't do the rotation on it? Right, anyway. So this is no longer going to be, actually this isn't going to be the alpha, right? At all. And we've got an issue here. No, we haven't. All we need to do is go leaf in there, and instead of using this, we use this. Right, and that's going to add it properly. Right? So if we plug this straight into here, we should get our one leaf working, right? Well, I was going to show you it, wasn't I? I was going to show you the game. Right, and our leaf apparently doesn't seem to want to work. Well, that's awesome. What I want to do is I want to check this. And if I remember rightly, this should not be on Z, this should be on the Y. So we shall plug that straight back in and go with that. Right, so resume that, and we're gonna have to disable this. And it's not moving at all. Isn't that amazing? Well, this really has me stumped. This is freaky. Right, which one is leaf? Right, it's that one, right? Now, if we were just to move this out the way somewhere, like there, and press play, let's see if it does anything. Right, apparently not. But I'll tell you what, that shouldn't be doing that. That should be in there. And let's check our timeline again. It's only going to 2. Could I put the length to 16? Oh god. You guys aren't noticing this and telling me. It's all your fault. Have I done it again? I just did it again. This value here should be 60. Neither wonder it hardly moved. Right, so it's doing that weird thing. Now it seems to be that this has to be on the Z, even though it's actually kinda not. Right, so we'll try that again. And yeah, it does. And there we go. Look at that. Right? So that works a treat. Now what we need to do is go back to our event graph, and we do actually need to multiply it by -1. It would appear. Right? And then what we do Right, we're going to save this for now. This is taking a lot longer than it should have, by the way, guys, but hey ho. This is leaf 1. Right? And that goes in there. This one is leaf 3, so we get this one. And we don't press our side button so that that happens. Okay, so what we'll do in the meantime is we'll get our leaf and we'll move it back into position. That'll do there. And if we now press play, right, that's good. We're getting there, and that's because we're doing that, so we need to do that instead. Then we need to get leaf 2's variable, which is this one. Actually, that goes in there. Then we get leaf 4. And leaf 5. Okay. And if we do that, voila. Excellent. What do you think, guys? Right, so anyway, the point here is I'm just going to actually do something here to let you see what the final sort of thing should look like, right? So if we're doing grabbing a plane, right? It's taking far too long, Daniel. It's taking far too long for what I was actually doing there. We need to do that, change that, add that, change that to probably 2-ish. Yeah, it's going to have to be a lot bigger than that, I'm afraid. Right, so we'll call it 10. And let's see, 4. Right, so the point being, I'm going to have to make it bigger than 10 as well. So make it 15. Right, so here is the what's this doing? Why is it only moving about 2 millimeters then stop? Right, so the way it's working is, right, let's check this out, right? So we're going to duplicate that and drag it to here, and then duplicate it and drag it to here, and then rotate it, and then move it to here and up a bit. So you're gonna have to use your imagination a bit here, okay? But if we're looking at this from here, what we'll see is this opening up, okay, and closing. Now what we need to do here is change the scale of it, right, and then drag this over a bit, and basically the same for them all. So that it basically covers what we're actually doing here. So we're obviously going to have like another model or whatever that covers this, or a plane that covers it, but the point being that we hide the fact that we're moving these kind of inside. So it's basically a bit of smoke and mirrors, right? So now when we press play, you know, it just looks like it's opened, right? And then if we add another plane, right, and we do, let's see, that, then we move it into position, and we make it a 1, right? You'll see what happens. If you see, like, have we got a black? Right, we'll have an aluminium black, right? Now when we press play, you know, this should be black. I don't know if we've got a better black than that. That kind of looks black, but I don't know if that's going to look, yeah, it does look black, doesn't it? Right, and then the idea here is to then have the gun basically come out, right? So the idea here is if we bring in the turret, you'll see what I mean, hopefully. So we'd have that just below there, right? So the idea is that when we open this, where'd that go? Where is that? Yeah, it's down here. Right. Okay. So I'll stop this for doing the reverse, but you'll get the idea when I do this, right? So basically, when we press play, that's not right. Right, it should go like that. Right, so I don't know why. Why is this turret not the right way around? Right, so the base should be 180. Okay. Save that. Now this is what it should be like, right? So basically what's happening is it goes like that, opens up, then the gun turret comes out, right? That's the way it's supposed to look. Then it should go away, and then this should shut again, right? So we basically just have to add our iris to this, okay? And then just get it to fire, or at least will fire off each other, okay? So I'm wondering if there's if you can do a material don't know. Right, so what we actually need to do here is drag that in there. Right, and this needs to be adjusted. And we need to adjust the scale as well. Okay. And God knows why it's doing that. Well, it's doing that because it's part of there. Right, that's not what we want. Okay, so fundamentally we want to delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, and delete that, and delete that. And that should leave us with bringing in the turret. Right? It should look something like that. Okay, we can stop that just now. Now it looks to me like our turret, our actual BP iris, doesn't need to be as big. Right. And in fact, if we do it as a 3, that might be enough actually, you know? That might actually be enough if we put something around the outside. Yeah. Yeah, we like that. We like that, definitely cool. So, really, what we could do now, I'm not saying this is the best idea here, but we could in theory what's going on there? Well, that's bizarre. How is that all one thing? Yeah, it's just I think it's just Unreal doing weird things, because you can see here it's only one thing. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll undo that. Right, now this one's here. Right, so in theory we would scale these down to 1. Or possibly see if we did it as 0.5 and like 0.5 and 0.5, right? If we did it as those, we could actually do it so that it looks like multiple, right? So it would actually, right, what in the heck happened there? What is that thing? Right, so Apparently that doesn't work. I don't know why it's doing this weird little shape that's joined on there. Don't ask me, don't know. Right, but the idea here is to basically do that, right? And then as I said, this is still doing weird stuff. But yeah, that works. Doesn't need to be perfect, I'm just giving you the idea of what we're going to do with this. So basically, are you going to move? Right, so the point of this is this, right? Right, so that when you press play, then like the outside is kind of covered, then it opens, and then the gun comes out like so. That's the idea. Okay, obviously I need to work on it, but that's the general gist of the idea. And with that, guys, if you've popped along, thank you for coming in, watching, much appreciated. And check out the description for my Discord, hit the subscribe button, you'll find my Patreon and previous Steam game on there. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you this evening at 8 PM Central. Bye for now.